What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love After Lockup Season 5, Episode 36, Ready or Not. Let's get into Shantae and True. So let's just get to the meat and potatoes of it, y'all. I'm not going to go do a play-by-play. So after her breakdown, when True broke up with her and she came back home, she went through a really tough time. She said that it took her 2 weeks to get out of the breakup funk. So she's at the baby store, the baby clothing store for her daughter because her daughter's going to have a baby. And there also is her best friend. So they're looking at stuff for her daughter's baby. And this is when Shantae tells them that she is pregnant. So both her daughter and her best friend were like, pregnant by who? Because we know it can't be true because y'all haven't seen each other in like 3 months. And she was like, of course I'm pregnant by True. And I'm about 14 weeks pregnant. So what happened was she was at work one day. She ended up passing out. They took her to the hospital. And that's when she found out that she was pregnant. So now, at the time of this particular scene, she's 14 weeks pregnant. She shows them the ultrasound. And she says, on top of that, I'm having twins. Okay, so the best friend did not like this at all because she doesn't really see it for Shantae and True. Everybody has basically kind of like the same opinion about True, that he's for the streets. He's not about having a serious commitment with Shantae, that there's no real future between them, etc. So the best friend was not really feeling this at all. So at this point, True does not know yet. She has not told him yet. Now, let's take a break from the show and let's talk about some social media stuff. So while I was watching the show, I was looking online to see if I could find any baby bump pictures of Shantae to use for my thumbnail. And then I came across a Reddit thread, and in this Reddit thread, they were talking about a video that was done by, according to Amber, who is a content creator on YouTube, and she did a whole thing on Shantae and True where, Amber gets down to the nitty-gritty. She gets the tea, piping hot, scathing tea because people contact her and they reach out to her and they give her all sorts of receipts and proof and evidence of the stuff that's going on with these people on these reality TV shows. So when it comes to Shantae and True, according to this Reddit thread that was referencing Amber's video, according to Amber's video, evidently, this is not the first time that Shantae has gotten pregnant by True. Now, I don't know if the twin pregnancy is the first pregnancy or the second one. I have a feeling it's the first one, which she may have ended up miscarrying. I don't know, because she is pregnant, but she was pregnant twice by True. And one of those pregnancies she lost. Now, knowing that they record these shows or they film these shows, way back when, we don't know if this is like a year old or 2 years old. The twin pregnancy has to be the first pregnancy, I'm assuming. And so she must have lost the twin pregnancy. I don't know for sure. And then she ended up getting pregnant again by True. Also, according to this Reddit commenter who was referencing Amber, evidently True and the girl that he met up at the gym, something did happen between them. Like, they did end up having sex. In fact, they had a threesome. It was True, the girl at the gym, and one of her friends. Now, at this point, he had broken up with Shantae already. So he went back to this gym girl, messing around with this gym girl, and then started talking to Shantae again. And so the gym girl was upset about the fact that he went back to Shantae, and she told Shantae and sent Shantae all the screenshots of their text messages and whatnot to show Shantae that, I was with him. Okay. I was with him. And on top of that, Shantae and the gym girl, I think, has some type of a physical confrontation over True. So there's a lot going on with Shantae and True. There's a lot happening here. And I can't keep up with it all. Okay. I can't really keep up with it all. But there is a lot going on. And you can get all the tea from according to Amber. I say all of that to say this. I just don't understand, Shantae. Look, supposedly they're getting married, okay? Not only are they together, but they're also planning a wedding and they're getting married. And I just don't know. Just because they're still together does not necessarily mean that this is a healthy relationship. It seems like there's just a lot going on. The thing that gets me is if these stories are true, is that at the gym, from what we saw on the show, True was putting up this front like he was being a proper gentleman. Like he told the girl, I'm with someone, I'm committed to her, so it's not going to go down between me and you. Well, coming to find out, it went down between them. It went down hard because they had a threesome. Okay. And then he went back to Shantae. And supposedly, when the gym girl was trying to let Shantae know what True was really all about and what he was really up to, Shantae did not want to believe the gym girl. Okay. She didn't want to believe that because she wants to hang on to True so bad. Now, when I was watching the show, I could tell that Shantae was really happy about this pregnancy. So she calls True, back to the show now. She calls True and she tells him that she's pregnant and that she's having twins. And he tells her, he was shocked, right? He was really shocked. And he tells her, well, I'm coming down to see you. And then she's going to be like, oh, no, I don't want you to come down. I don't want to see you. I'm not ready to see you. I just got over our breakup. And so I'm not trying to start things all over again. And I don't want to see you. Don't come. He's like, I don't care what you're saying. I'm coming down to see you. I don't know what to say because I'm torn. I'm torn because True puts up this persona like he cares a lot about Shantae. He puts on this persona that he cares a lot about Shantae. But what I don't understand is if you care so much about her, why did you break up the engagement? And if you weren't ready to get married, which is valid, why did you propose? And the fact that he has no shame in his game in allowing her to spend so much money on him while he was incarcerated, knowing that she's got 4 kids and she's taking care of these kids by herself. Like, how in the world can you like accept her, accept money from her, allow her to buy you clothes, designer, and then not only just to buy you clothes, but you are dictating to her that you can only wear designer brand clothes and that you want only, a certain type of jewelry. You want, this kind of jewelry, that kind of jewelry. How can you do that knowing that she is supporting, 4 kids and maybe 2 of those kids are grown now, but I'm pretty sure she's still helping them out financially if they're not, living with her. She's still helping them out financially and plus she's got grandkids. And then Shantae. You're 35 years old at the time of this, the filming of this show. You got 4 kids. And at the time you had 1 grandkid and another one on the way. You can love True with all your heart and soul. And you can go to hell and back with this man, for this man. You can burn every single bridge of all of your relationships because you would rather be with True. You'd rather have True in your life than anybody else. Fine. But why in the world do you have to bring children into this? That's all I want to know. Why can't you be with this man, fight hard for him, fight hard for this relationship because you got your family to contend with who don't support this. You got the other girls in his life who are telling you that he's no good and he's messing around with them. All this stuff is going on and you're still going to stand by your man and fight for this relationship. But why did you allow yourself to get pregnant by this man when you know how hard it is to be a single mom? If you got pregnant that early on and after him being released, y'all didn't even have time to build anything in the real world. Y'all didn't even have time to really establish something after his release from prison before you brought a child into this. Like, why would you do this? It kind of comes off because I know that you know how babies are made. And I know what you need to do to prevent a pregnancy. So I'm just going to sit here and think, Shantae, you were probably trying to trap this man because you want this man so bad. You want this man so bad that you were like, I'm going to go ahead and let him shoot up the club and whatever happens, happens. And if I get pregnant, I get pregnant. Fine. Because y'all, when she told her daughter and her best friend that she was pregnant, and then she showed them the ultrasound pictures, I really felt like she was so, so happy. They were worried about her. They're like, oh my God, you're going to have twins? You're going to be doing this by yourself all over again with twins now? And she was like, how do you know I'm going to be doing it by myself? So when she said that, it was like, okay, maybe she's got some hope that they're going to reconcile. But then when she called him and told him, hey, I'm pregnant, I'm having twins. And he's like, okay, I'm going to come down and see you, which I thought that was, a good thing for him to do. She's going to tell him, no, don't come down here. I don't want to see you. Girl, it's not about you no more. It's about these kids. You're having his children. And I think this is the first time of him being a father. I think, I don't know. You're having his kids. So he wants to come down and see you. Like, why would you deny that? I don't understand. People are like, oh, but they're still together. They're still together, as if that's trying to prove that they're together in a healthy, conducive relationship. People can be together for years and years and years and years and be in a very toxic relationship. Now she's going to have these kids or this child. I don't know. Like I said, supposedly, according to this Reddit thread by someone who had watched Amber's video, she had a miscarriage with True's baby or babies. I don't know if it was the twin pregnancy or I don't know. But at some point she had a miscarriage and then she got pregnant again by True. And I feel like Shantae is just like, she's just obsessed with this man and wants to keep him at all costs, and she doesn't give a damn what nobody says. And the thing is, what's making him stay, and I hate to say this, what's making him stay is I think he's financially comfortable with Shantae. Now, Shantae talked about losing her home and all this and that. But Shantae, at some point in her life, and I don't know if that's still the case now, but at some point in her life, she had a couple of coins because she owned a Whataburger franchise. She was a co-owner of a Whataburger franchise, supposedly with an NFL player. And this is according to Amber. With an NFL player, they owned a Whataburger franchise together, but then that didn't work out or she walked away from it. I don't know. She had enough money to send this man, throughout the time that they knew each other while he was incarcerated. She had enough money to send him $30,000. She lost one house, but, ended up getting another house. I don't know if she's buying or renting. I don't know. So it seems like, she might not be financially well off, but maybe she is financially comfortable. I don't know. And so I think that might be kind of like I don't want to say that he's using her for money, because that seems like, I don't know. Maybe his whole I'm a player persona, maybe that's just all a show. Maybe he's not that. Maybe he's someone that wants to settle down and he wants a commitment, and he understands that maybe Shantae is good for him. And so he wants to stay with her and make this work with her. I mean, that could be a possibility as well, because I don't want to come up here and say that this man is just using her for money. But when I put two and two together, it kind of seems like that. Like, she doesn't mind spending the money on him, as we have seen from what she has said. She doesn't mind sending him tens of thousands of dollars while he's incarcerated. I don't know what somebody in prison is going to do with $30,000, but whatever. She has no problem spending money on him. And she wanted to be pregnant by him, because if you're not using protection, and I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, but sometimes protection fails. Okay, look, maybe that first time it failed, but then she went and got pregnant again. She got pregnant again. And now they're planning this wedding. I just wonder if he's with her because it's financially comfortable and he knows that she's so blinded by love or blinded by lust or something. Her nose is so wide open for him, and he knows this. He knows that Shantae's got it bad for him. That he's like, yeah, I'm going to stay with Shantae because she takes care of me really good, but I'm going to go still do my own thing. Because as soon as you came out of prison, True, you broke off the engagement. And then went off to say that you wanted to have an open relationship with her. That you still wanted to have that connection with her, but you still want to see other people. Moving on to Zariah and Troy. Okay, Zariah and Troy. So Troy's mom was high as a kite at church, at Zariah's parents' church. Okay, she was high as a kite, and then it came to a point where she had enough of church. So she leaves the service early. She's in the parking lot waiting for Zariah and Troy to come out to take her back to the apartment or to the house or whatever. So she's waiting and waiting and waiting. She's getting seriously impatient. Troy comes out there to check on her. He's like, Mom, what is wrong with you? And she's like, I want to get out of these clothes. I want to get out of here. I've had enough of all of this. I just want to get back to the house. So Troy's like, you're supposed to be meeting her parents. And she's like, I don't want to meet nobody. I just want to go back. Take me back. Well, the parents end up coming out. They meet her in the parking lot, and she was really upset that she still had to meet them because she just, she wasn't in her right mind. She was high, aggravated, just probably hangry, who knows. So the parents come out, they meet her. They're very gracious people. And then Troy's mom, I think her name is Karen. Karen goes on to say, I don't know, she was just acting kind of off because she was like, I just don't appreciate being exposed. I felt so exposed. I don't appreciate being exposed. And I don't know what she was talking about. I don't know if she was saying, I don't know what the hell she was talking about. So Zariah's parents, like I said, they were very gracious to her, very accepting of her. Zariah's mom gave her a hug. And yeah, Troy's mom just wasn't having it. This was not her best day by far. She just wanted to get back to the house. Now, Zariah's parents are still putting the pressure on Troy to be a minister. They think that he's got the gift or the calling or the experience to minister and lead people. And he tells us in his confessional that absolutely 100% is not going to happen. It's your prerogative, Troy. But please don't come up here on this show next week telling us that you want to be a rapper. Okay? Like Montana Mills, whatever his name is. Whatever you want to do, I hope it's productive. I hope it's productive. I hope it's going to give you a long-lasting career. I hope you're going to make a lot of money out of it. Don't come up here next week telling us that you want to be a rapper and you want to go into the music business. Jesus, please, no. Moving on to Julian and Christine. So, side note on Julian and Christine, I ran across an article that Julian, I don't know about Christine, but Julian ended up going to jail because him and Christine were out Walmart together and they stole like hundreds of dollars worth of merchandise from Walmart and he ended up getting arrested. I'm pretty sure he bailed out or whatever. I don't think he was in there for a long time, but he was arrested for stealing at Walmart. Now, Julian is the one that seemed to be very straight-laced. He was a nerd throughout school. He was all about, being an academic, and he's writing a novel and all this other stuff. Well, messing with Christine got him in jail because somehow or another, he thought it was a good idea to steal from Walmart while they were together. So they leave West Virginia for Maryland. Christine talks about how she's leaving West Virginia and she's going to be leaving her son behind. So it seems like she left West Virginia without even seeing her child. Is there like an order in place that prevents her from seeing her child? I don't understand how you came out of prison, even though you weren't in there for that long, and you're leaving the state that your son lives in, and you're leaving the state without even seeing him. Going, hundreds of miles away to a whole nother state. I just didn't understand how she left without seeing her son. So as they're driving or as they're leaving, she wanted to drive by the bank that she robbed. And so they stopped by there and she explains to Julian how she ended up robbing this bank, all the things that she did to rob the bank. And I just didn't understand why she wanted to relive that moment. They get to Maryland, they get to his townhouse. He gives her a tour and he shows her his children's rooms. And I didn't know Julian had children. So the plot thickens with Julian and Christine. I had no idea that he had children. So he shows her the rooms and she asked him, how often do your kids come and see you? And Julian says, whatever days, whatever the schedule is. And I think he said to her, when my kids are here, because I haven't told them about us, I want to wait until I introduce you to them. Which means that when the kids are there, she's going to have to hide somewhere or leave. I don't understand why anybody would be in a relationship like that, where they are hiding you from their children. Because his ex-wife, I'm assuming, the mother of his kids, doesn't really know the full story between him and Christine. I don't even know if they know of Christine. We know that his immediate family, they know of her, but they don't know that they're actually together in this relationship. The ex-wife and the kids, I don't even know if they even know of Christine, because I know for sure that if the ex-wife knew that he had an ex-felon living in the home, that she would try to modify that visitation schedule. So he tells her, I'm not ready to introduce my kids to you yet. So yeah, just don't be around when my kids are here. And she's okay with that. So then they start talking about the possibility of her working. Now, Christine says she's not ready to go back. She says, I got a lot going on. You have a lot going on. Okay, Christine always talks about how I have a lot going on. I have a lot of things that I got to fix. a lot of things that I got to do. But these things, which are centered around your children, because she talks about how she's trying to get her kids back, so on and so forth. But said kids or said child, one of your kids, you didn't even want to see him before you left the state. You made no effort to see this child, but you're going to use your children as an excuse to not do anything productive, such as getting a job. So he's telling her, eventually you're going to have to work because you have restitution, you have child support. And in her confessional, she's like, why is he telling me this as if I don't know? Of course I know that I have all these things that I have to pay for. Then, honey, you need to get a job. With all the stuff that you got going on and all the things that you're trying to fix in your life, you need to get a job. You can get a job and still work on whatever the hell you got to work on. You're going to have to get a job. I think she thinks that she's one of those women that can convince a man to financially take care of her because, she's so young and so hot. Girl, you are not that. You're not that. Julian wants you to get out there and get a damn job. Okay? You're not a sugar baby. He's not going to financially take care of you. You're not young and hot and, just too beautiful and too delicate to work where a man wants to just take care of you. No, you're going to get out there, hit the pavement, send out them damn resumes like you told you to, and start clocking in and clocking out and help him pay these damn bills. Moving on to Kim and Joey. So this was so it was Christmas time, right? They're celebrating Christmas and the kids are opening up their presents. And, Kim is feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. Like she's got a real family now, a real man in her house. But Joe ended up leaving in the car that she bought for him. And I really thought, y'all, that he went out to go get food or go get a Christmas gift for her. This man came back empty-handed. Wherever he was roaming around, he comes back to the house empty-handed. Okay, no Happy Meals for the kids, no Starbucks for Kim. He comes back into the house empty-handed. So the family comes over, his mother, his niece, and her dad. So everybody's there now. And he decides to take this moment to get down on one knee and propose to Kim. And this is not the first time he's proposed to her. He proposed to her while he was in prison and she had accepted. And I guess he gave her some dinky ring. Well, now he upgraded the ring. He got a really nice diamond ring and he wants to propose to her again and make this like their official proposal. Of course, everybody was wondering, where did he get this money to buy this ring? Well, in prison, he says he was gambling. And so he was saving all of his gambling money. He proposes. She says yes. Her dad takes him outside to have a talk with him because, the dad does not really like Joey. He's not really feeling Joey because 20 years ago, her father believes that Joey stole a dirt bike from him. And this old man has not gotten over that. It happened 20 years ago. Okay, the value of that dirt bike right now would be, I don't know, negative $50. But this old man has not gotten over it. He still feels like Joey stole this dirt bike from him. So he takes him outside to have a conversation with him. And he talks about how, well, I have a lot of expectations from you. I expect you to be a good husband, a good stepfather. I want you to take responsibility, blah, 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 take care of this family. This is my daughter. I love her. And I just want her to be happy. And so that's why I'm going to go ahead and give you my blessings to marry my daughter because I know this is what is making her happy. Okay, fine. Then he brings up the damn dirt bike. And he tells Joey, I know 20 years ago, you and your brother came to my house and took that dirt bike. And not you and your brother. Kim's brother is the one that's been feeding this information to the dad that he believes that Joey took this bike. So he tells Joey, I think you and your friends took this bike from me 20 years ago. Joey denies it. He's like, even though I was running with a rough crowd and, I was living a really bad life, I promise you, I did not take that damn bike. The father does not believe it. He doesn't tell him that he doesn't believe it. He tells us. He's like, I don't give a damn what Joey says. I know he took that damn bike. Okay, Dad, what do you want him to do? Even if he says, okay, yeah, I took the bike, what do you want him to do? Do you want him to give you the $20 that the bike is worth now? Like, what do you want this man to do? So I need you to get over the dirt bike, Dad. Okay, it happened. You don't have any proof that it happened. Just please get over it before, it sends you to an early grave. It doesn't matter anymore. So the dad also tells us that he believes with all of his heart and soul that Joey's going to probably be back in jail in about 3 months' time. He gives Joey about 3 months before he starts messing up again. I think Joey, when he took that drive, when he left the house, and went to go drive around by himself, I y'all, I think he went to go look for something, if you know what I mean. I think he went to go look for something to take the edge off because real life was hitting him hard. Them kids were running around, yelling and screaming, and he couldn't take it no more. And he probably went to go find something to help take the edge off. Moving on to Bianca and Daniel. So Bianca had a FaceTime conversation with Daniel's parents. And Daniel's father recklessly said, "You must be mentally ill." Are you, no, I'm sorry. Daniel's father recklessly told her or asked her, "Are you mentally ill?" And Bianca took this as, he thinks that something's wrong with me. But I took it as the father probably didn't understand why someone like Bianca, who seems like, she's got it together, why would someone like Bianca want to do so much for someone like Daniel? Because not only is she with Daniel in a relationship, but she rented an apartment in Arizona where Daniel is, and she paid like 4 months worth of rent all in one lump sum because we're going to be staying in this apartment together. So I thought the father was like, "Are you mentally ill? Like, why would you want to do this? My boy has a lot of issues. Why do you want to be with him?" That's how I took it. But maybe the father was really questioning her mental stability. So Bianca took serious offense to that. So she's talking on the phone to Daniel and she brings it up. "Do you know what your father said to me? Your father asked me if I was mentally ill." And I'm like, "Bianca, for you to be taking this so personally and to be so defensive about it, I'm beginning to question that as well." So her friend is there and her friend is like questioning her. Are you sure you really want to do this? Are you 100% sure that you want to make this move, this major move in your life to go be with someone like Daniel? He has all these, he's an alcoholic, recovering alcoholic. He's, in and out of prison, et cetera, et cetera. Are you sure you want to do this? And Bianca takes this as her friend being jealous of her. She tells us in her confessional that her friend is just jealous of her because she's finally living life. Whereas her friend is still stuck in the same place, in the same apartment that she's been in for years or whatever the hell. Like her life is moving forward while her friend's life is staying stagnant. And I'm thinking to myself, "Bianca, you're living life. You call this living life where you are living with an ex-felon who is a recovering alcoholic who's going to be struggling with his alcoholism because he doesn't want you to drink around him. This is living life to you." So she's video calling Daniel, and this is like her last couple of days or whatever in Florida before she makes the move to Arizona. So she's video calling Daniel, and they're talking about her drinking. And she's telling him that, "Look, I want to be able to drink. I don't want to change my life for you. I'm not the one with the alcohol problem." And Daniel tells her straight up, "I'd rather you not. Okay? I'd rather you not be drinking around me all the time." And she got defensive again. And she was like, "Well, I'm not an alcoholic or anything. I don't have a problem with alcohol." And he was like, "I hope you don't." What I don't understand, Bianca, why is this so important to you? Why is this, why are you trying to like stick to this thing where I love him, he's my world, he's my life? She talks about how she lost a baby. She had a miscarriage from a previous relationship, but she feels like she's meant to be a mother and she's meant to have a child with Daniel, that this is all fate, all of this stuff. But then you don't want to help him in his recovery by not drinking around him. You don't have to stop drinking completely. Just don't drink around him. You can go out with your friends and drink. You can go to the park and drink, do whatever. Don't drink around him. Why can't you do that for him? This is the man that you are giving up your whole life for. You're leaving your whole life behind, everything that you've ever known in Florida, to move to Arizona to be with him, but you can't stop drinking around him. Anywho, that's my review, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.